Good afternoon. My name is Daileane Connors. I'm out here in California. I'm the proud owner of Black Beauty Skin and Body. I am a licensed master esthetician. Can you share a favorite childhood memory that today still brings you joy? A favorite childhood memory? Yeah, I have one. I was waiting at the bus stop one time with my grandma, and we were next to a bush, and I hit the bush on an accident, and like lots and lots of butterflies just start flying all around me. I just remember like going like, oh my gosh, like going in a circle, like, you know, kind of like chasing the butterflies or whatever. It felt like the butterflies were chasing me too. So that's a memory I'm always going to keep with me. If you had to name one influential person, it could be a parental figure or not in your life, who would that be and why? Oh, that would be my Auntie Mama, Robbin. She raised me, and she's just a very, very positive person. She taught me a lot of things that I needed to know growing up, because I didn't have a mom growing up, but she was my mom. She replaced my mom. So, yeah, she's the best. She's the best. And not only does she help me, she continually helps other people every day in her everyday life. Can you share a painful experience that you went through that you never thought you would recover from, but did recover from, that you don't mind sharing, though? Don't mind sharing at all. Matter of fact, I like to talk about these type of things. I want to feel every single emotion. When I was younger, I didn't really know how to express my emotions because I would suppress those emotions, right? But as I got older, I realized that talking about the things that cause me pain helps to release those emotions so that I can feel. I want to feel. I don't want to be like some stone cold person, you know, that don't ever feel nothing, don't feel happiness, don't feel sadness, like can't, you know, depict. So as a young girl, I was a prostitute. I got into prostitution, and the person had took me over to Salinas, California. I will never forget this. It was my first day. So I really didn't know much, but swiftly I had to learn how to speak Spanish, right? Just like basic Spanish, how much money you got. Like, so swiftly I had to learn. And I remember I had a cell phone at the time. My best friend got into it with me too. And she didn't have no phone. And I just remember like this Mexican, he had pulled up, right? He pulled up in a van, and basically we discussed the price. I agreed upon it. My friend was like, girl, I ain't got no phone. Give me the phone. You know, you supposed to be going to the room. So I ended up giving her my cell phone. I did not go to the room. He just jumped on the freeway. And so I'm asking him, donde? That's like, where are we going? Where are we going? Right? And he like, not too far, not too far. He just keeps saying, not too far, not too far. But we were going very, very far. Like I was not even in familiar territory. Actually, I really didn't know nothing about Salinas at all. You know, that was my first day. And basically he took me to like I remember we pulled up to a dead end. He turned the music down. He whistled. Like, just like that. I'll never forget the way he whistled. He whistled just like that, turned the music down. Some guys had jumped from the back of the van to the middle of the van, and like one of them hit me on top of my head. And I already like had this vision in my mind that something was going bad because the guy wasn't doing what I was asking him to do. Like I had a little bit of Spanish, you know, and he was not like, he was doing whatever he wanted to do. So I remember he had on his dashboard, he had like a globe. You know how you got the globe and then you shake the globe and then the stuff falls or whatever. He had a globe on his dashboard. And I said, if he try anything, I'm about to bust him upside his head with this globe, right? So they jumped in the middle. One of them hit me on top of my head. I said, y'all got me fucked up. Excuse my language. I don't be cussing in front of my aunties and stuff, but I'm going through the emotion right now, right? So I said, y'all got me messed up. So I jumped to that middle of that sea. I started beating both of them up so bad because in that moment, I felt like it was kill or be killed, and I wasn't ready to die, you know? So I just feel like one of them had went to the back. He had got beat up so bad, he went to the back of the van. They had a fire extinguisher, and then they knew English because they was like, bitch, if you don't get down, I'm going to bust you upside your head, right? So I was like, oh no, please don't bust me upside my head. Like I didn't want to pass out. I still wanted to be in control of the environment that I was in, even though it was very hostile. I didn't want to pass out because I knew I was going to lose all control of whatever was happening next. So I laid down. I remember like they put like a sheet on my head. I laid down on the floor of the middle of the van, and I had white pants on that night. So that night I had white pants on, and I just felt something wet. Now, I knew they had a soda can back there, so I thought I was laying in soda, for whatever reason. But they pulled me up to a dead end. It was literally like a one-way in. It was like a dirt road, I remember. But it's like to get out, you got to back out. Because if you go in, you can't turn around. You can't turn your car around or nothing. So they pulled me into a dead end, well, like the one-way. And I just seen heck of Mexicans walking from this way, walking from that way. Like there's hills on the side or whatever. So at that time, I didn't really have no emotions, but I knew that I would have to be like acting like I had emotions, you know what I'm saying, to survive this. Because like 2 or 3 guys, I feel like I could survive, But like 15, nah, I feel like there was no chance, unless I'm like begging for my life. So I remember at the time I was just like, I have 3 babies. I was a teenager. I had no babies, right? So I'm like, I have 3 babies. Please don't kill me. So anyway, that night I was raped by mostly all of them, Some used protection, some didn't. They had guns, knives, all kind of stuff. And I just feel like it was God that helped save me that night. So anyway, they sent some guy back over the hill to go get me some pants because they tried to take my white pants from me. But I wrestled. I was like, I'll put them ugly jeans on, but I'm keeping my white pants, right? Because I gotta tell my girl like what happened, and nobody will never believe me if I don't have the evidence. So anyway, they took me back to the sign where it said, "Welcome to Salinas," and they threw some type of dollar amount out. I don't know. I didn't even give a care. I don't care how much money, because whatever money they sent, it was never enough for whatever I experienced at that moment. And then I just remember like going from having no emotions, just trying to like, survive. And then as soon as they like kicked me out and I survived, now all the emotions are rushing through my head, like what I had just experienced or whatever. And like there was people along the way that tried to help me. Like they thought I was really, really hurt and wanted to take me to the hospital. And I was like, no, this ain't my blood. This somebody else's blood. So I got a ride to my hotel, and then I told my girl what happened. And then like instantly I was laughing, but it's not laughing like I'm happy about the situation that I'm going through. It's laughing that I survived it. And this is like a symptom of trauma. It's like one of my symptoms of going through some trauma is laughing. Like if I get nervous now, I laugh. I know like a lot of people laugh when they're lying. I do the opposite. I laugh when I tell the truth. I do a lot of laughing when I tell the truth. So people think that I'm lying, but it's really the opposite. So anyway, that was a very, very traumatic experience. So I had a choice to either stay and continue doing that, living in that lifestyle, or to go home. And I just stayed. I stayed in that lifestyle.
What would you tell yourself if you could go back in time now, right now, who you are today? What would you tell that person then?
Oh, at that time, I would have said, girl, listen, there's not a dollar amount for your life. There's not a dollar amount for your life, for yourself. Even if I had no money in this life, I'd probably be a lot happier than living the way that I was living at that time. Yeah, don't put a dollar amount on your life, because it's never going to be enough. You're going to always feel like it's never enough. So don't put yourself in positions where you're going to have to feel like it's kill or be killed.
What pivotal moment caused you to transition from that situation or that person or that time period to who you are today?
So several times I call it, I was trying to be good, right? So I can't say it's like a drug. So it was several times throughout my life where I was like, oh, I'm done with this, and it was like a certain demographic of people that I didn't even want to even speak to or talk to no more ever in my life. So it was always God. It was always God telling me that I don't belong there. I'm better than that. He had a better life for me and everything like that. So it was always God, and I would come out of that, and then something would trigger me. I would feel like I needed to survive. I needed money. I knew how to get the money. So then I would go back to get the money. And then once I feel like, okay, I got enough, I'm cool, then God would call me out again.
What is one of the best compliments you've received, and why did it stand out to you? Why was it so special?
I was volunteering one time, and some lady, she just came up and she told me that she could feel the Holy Spirit all over me, and that basically she had been touched by what she's feeling just coming off of my body. I think the Holy Spirit to me is just like the highest form. Like it gives you a high, like like, I can't even really explain how it makes you feel, right? But to me, it's one of the best feelings in the world to even like be under the Holy Spirit or something like that. So that even though I didn't, react or say thank you to her at the time, because it's not about me, it's all about God. It's not about me. I'm just here for a little bit, right? So I just feel like later on I got to like, wow, people see the God in me. Other times too, like when I wasn't living in that lifestyle, the fast lifestyle, they would say, you don't belong here. You're not like the rest of the girls. I didn't get what they were saying. I didn't understand, because to me, yeah, I'm just like the rest of the girls. I'm just like everybody else out here. But they would say all the time that I don't belong there. Like, what am I doing out there? I'm not like the rest of the girls. So that too, it's like, now I understand what they mean. But at the time, I'm like, no, I'm just like the rest of them,
What does raising the bar mean to you?
Oh, raising the bar means to me, that means like, it doesn't matter where you come from, what you going through. It matters where you're going, right? That's what it means to me. It matters like I had a rough start, in life or whatever, but that doesn't mean I have to continue to have that rough life. Actually take pride in being drug-free, alcohol-free, and, stuff like that. So I actually take pride in that. And then I'm able to travel the world and, help raise my babies and stuff. So where I feel like if I was still in that lifestyle, all I would care about was I'd probably be dusty. I'm going to tell you that much. So I'll probably be dusty. And, and yeah, it just doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going. So now I'm a proud owner of a spa, and I just love what I do.
What was the name again?
It's Black Beauty Skin and Body.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I specialize in all skin types. I work with everybody. What I really emphasize is anti-aging, because I always told myself I want to be as beautiful as possible for as long as possible. I told myself that a lot, right? When I was younger, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I didn't want to like age faster or, look cracked out or none of that. I knew that for sure. So it's very important that others take care of themselves, and it's a form of self-care. It's a luxury experience that you're receiving as well.
If your life were a book, what would the title be and why?
Oh, I already got the title for my book. It would be Black and White, no gray. And why? Because it's just so raw and uncut, like the things that I've experienced. I'll be holding nothing back. I'll let it all go. So y'all read my book, listen, y'all gonna laugh, cry, you gonna smile, you gonna wanna go help somebody else, because it's gonna be very encouraging and uplifting as well. So yeah, there'll be no gray areas in my book, and that's why.
What do you want your legacy to be when you're no longer here? What do you want people to remember you for?
I just want people to remember how I was so encouraging and uplifting, how I was motivating, how I was just like everything positive, because that's important to me. Like, I just want to be like, when they think about me, she always made me feel good every time when I came around. She always, uplifted me, encouraged me, and yeah, stuff like that. So I just want them to remember me by being a positive person. And when I'm in their life, when they come across me, how positive I was to them. He will do it again.